she's gonna take a chance on peace.
We're just looking for answers, gang. This is Question Period Canada.
When will the minister stop with her empty words and take action?
The Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, the situation in Gaza is absolutely catastrophic, and that's why we need the violence to stop. We need an immediate ceasefire, and that is why Canada fully supports the proposal by the President of the United States. We need to take a chance on peace, and along with our allies, we're following very closely what my colleague just mentioned, because our position has been clear when it comes to arms export, and we'll take decisions accordingly. Thank you so much.
Hey gang, what's up? Just Ehren right here, Question Period Canada. We recognize Trudeau's girl from the introduction, Melanie Joly, our Minister of Global Affairs, used to be Foreign Affairs. Before that, it might have been Extramarital Affairs. I'm kidding, I kid, I laugh, I joke. Anyways, Melanie Joly. I don't know if she's qualified to be our Minister of Global Affairs, Trudeau's representative to the world. She seems very hippy-dippy. She's an attractive person that should not matter in the world of Canadian federal politics. It seems to. Anyhow, Melanie Joly, let's take a look and a listen to Trudeau's girl talking like she doesn't have a clue. Let's take a look and a listen.
So can you clarify, have you shown them the evidence you're basing your claim on, and have you walked them through that case and shown them how Canada has reached this conclusion?
We've had numerous conversations with India before the Prime Minister went in front of the House and made his declaration. This was not a surprise to the government of India.
A surprise, but the evidence, did you show them the
And
evidence?
through these different conversations, the Indian officials were made aware of the credible allegations. And so based on that, India has decided to take their own decisions, which are precedent-setting, and revoking the diplomatic immunity of 41 diplomats is not only unprecedented, but also contrary to international law. And so in that sense, because this is so unprecedented and would put so many countries, different diplomats around the world in danger, we decide not to reciprocate.
Okay, so that's a repetition of your statement, and thank you. I understand what your point is, but you're not answering the question directly on that point. But you did...
Tonda, I've answered your question. You've asked me the question whether we had conversation and presented
If you
evidence.
showed them the evidence, yes.
I've told you that there were meetings and information was shared. So I've answered your question.
Here she gets put on her back foot, but she always tries to charm people, uses first names all the time and tries to relate to people, but it comes off as phony. You know what I mean, Melanie? You'll see it in these other clips.
Whistleblower, why did it take a whistleblower? Why did it take a whistleblower?
Are you the one?
Why did it take a whistleblower?
The loudest?
I'm trying, yeah, I'm trying to get over my male colleagues. Why did it take a whistleblower to sound the alarm and for the Globe and Mail to publish a paper for your government to act?
Well, obviously, you heard the Prime Minister. There is an investigation that is happening. My colleague, the Minister of Public Safety, could answer directly your question. At the same time, we decided to take action based on the confirmation that Mr. Vignon gave, and therefore it is
But you had it 2 years ago. Your government had it 2 years ago. How do you justify to MPs? There's others named according to the reporting. There's others involved.
Like, I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs. My job is to make sure that...
You are a senior federal cabinet minister.
My job is to make sure that as foreign minister, I deal with the relationship with China. When it comes to issues of foreign interference, we've been clear. We would be sending our diplomats packing if that's the case, and that's what we do.
And is it unacceptable?
Minister, the travel advisory has not been updated at this point. Is the risk to Canadians in China unchanged?
Well, the travel advisory already says that Canadians should make sure to show high caution when taking their decision to travel to China, and we will adapt it to make sure that that Canadians are always made aware of what are the different risks linked to traveling in a foreign country.
Est-ce que vous craignez une escalade de réponses
On a pris une décision de
In
principe.
reactions? It's a decision in principle that was based precisely on allegations that have been confirmed. Consequently, we're going to ensure that we continue to make principled decisions throughout. But now are you getting ready for other measures? The aim is still and will always be to think about all of the different consequences, to reflect on the different factors at play. That's why the decision to expel the Consul General in Toronto was not a decision taken lightly. I think it's the decision that we had to make, and it took a certain amount of time, but ensuring that the situation is managed calmly and seriously.
Are you concerned about possible economic sanctions, such as China finding safety concerns with Canadian exports or imports?
I'll answer your question because this was the question that was asked to me in French. Okay. So, first and foremost, this is a decision that was not taken lightly. It is a decision that was taken based on considering many factors and also many of Canada's interests in the world, including in China. And so it needed to be thoughtful, it needed to take some time, and we needed to make sure that we did this in a very serious manner. And so therefore, we take note of the decision by China to expel Jennifer Lalonde, as mentioned. We think that she's a great career diplomat. And of course, I look forward to having a conversation with her later today. And that being said, if there's anything else, I'll update you.
The words sound about right, but the actions don't follow suit with the words. They take no action, it doesn't seem. Anyway, here's some more Melanie Joly.
Since its inception, the Declaration has laid the foundation for building a more just and equitable world. On its 75th anniversary, Canada recognizes the essential role it has played in our policy both at home and abroad. As a strong champion of the Declaration, part of Canada's leadership comes with addressing our colonial legacy and recognizing that our human rights record is far from being perfect. In this vein, we emphasize the importance of international human rights mechanisms like the Universal Periodic Review. We remain committed to renewing our relationships with Indigenous peoples, including through recognizing the right to self-determination, as outlined by the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act. Canada pledges to continue taking measures that ensure federal laws are consistent with the UN Declaration and implementing an action plan developed for and with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Canada is committed to ensuring the rights of LGBTQ people in our country and abroad through our action plan and pledges to create a barrier-free Canada by 2040, as envisioned in both the Accessible Canada Act and in our Disability Inclusion Action Plan. Enhancing the monitoring of human rights violations and advancing the work of human rights organizations is essential to furthering the principles of the Declaration. That's why Canada is contributing $4 million to support an in-country office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights.
Here Melanie Joly is getting nailed by Michael Cooper, an MP from Alberta, and she uses the tactic when she gets backed into a corner of using first names to try to relate. It's a trick I use in my real life. But Melanie Joly is using it here in real time. Here, let's take a peek at that.
Minister, when you last appeared before this committee on December 13th, you said repeatedly, unequivocally, that you had no information about Beijing's interference in the 2019 and 21 elections. How is it that the Globe and Mail and Global News have information based on their review of CSIS documents about significant interference by Beijing in the 2019 2021 elections, but you, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, know nothing. How is that possible?
Well, when it comes to activities of foreign actors in the country, the Foreign Affairs Minister was not made aware. And since then, I've made sure that that changed, that would not be the case, because obviously, as everybody around this table would be aware,
You've
it
asked
is important.
to be brief. You didn't know anything in December.
Can I just finish my sentence, please, Michael? So obviously, in the context, as colleagues around this table would agree, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, I need to make sure that I have access to that information in order to conduct our diplomatic relationships in a good way, in Canadians' interest.
Mr. Turnbull.
Thanks, Madam Chair. And let me just say to the ministers my apologies for what you've had to witness today in this committee in terms of the condescending tone. And I apologize on behalf of my colleagues because I don't think they will.
Hey gang, so good thing Ryan Turnbull is there. That lug nut is always protecting everything Canadian. I don't know. He's protecting Trudeau's girl right there, I think, protecting the cabinet. My. Melanie Joly comes off as a little incompetent to me. A couple of attributes, I guess, can get you pretty far in Canadian federal politics. It's wild. We'll be making other videos about her, so like, share, subscribe, comment, get notified, all those fun things. I love the comments, guys. Anyway, we'll be back with another video. I'm Ehren. This is Question Period Canada. We cover all the live Question Period broadcasts. It's a fun chat room. Come and join us. Like I say, like, share, subscribe, get notified, especially for the live shows to find out when they're coming. Anyway, that's it. We're going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for watching this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Later, gang. She's going to take a chance on peace.